go to our next story. You know, we are still talking politics. The immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, is many things to many people across the country. The late first German chancellor, I always like to quote him, Otto von Bismarck, he was highly adaptable, making strategic decisions to anticipate consequences. In like manner, El-Rufai, the Harvard and Ahmadu Bello University trained cost engineer like von Bismarck, wants to learn from the mistakes of others. He has declared that he will not, underline that, will not contest for any political office come 2027. According to him, his renewed involvement in politics is only to support credible leadership at both state and federal levels. But may I remind him that politics is a behavioral science.
It is. It is. Well, it's jarring to know and good to know that Nasir El-Rufai, someone who has been in politics at least since about 1999, 200.
Yeah, I recall that he first started out as the FCT minister.
He even started as the at BP, where he was the head of the BP, as part of the economic team of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. From there, before he was appointed a minister, then he took it from there. Now, within the polity, he has been rumored, I don't want to agree that he was, to be a member of the SDP. From the SDP, there were issues within the ranks of the SDP leadership, who said he wanted to hijack the party and not want to take it himself. From there, we saw the new coalition, ADC. He also part of the ADC coalition. So I practically don't know where he belongs presently. But even at that, I give it to him. You cannot take away from
we have agreed that politics is a behavioral science.
It is.
It's not exact.
Yes, so it is. But you cannot take away his sagacity, his personality in politics. Apart from being a two-time governor of Kaduna State, we saw also how he was able to muzzle himself and be able to assert himself during the last presidential election, where he threw his weight convincing towards the current president. He supported him. He was one of those that galvanized the northern governors and the elite to be able to support this the present president. But moving forward, my only problem is the kind of politics that is happening in Kaduna State presently. Nasir El-Rufai and members of the ADC were at an event, I think it was yesterday, where they were at a meeting and we saw the fracas that happened. And he came out. We don't know where it came from because till now the police said we are going to investigate until the police come out with the investigation. But if that is what is happening now, then I have my fears for 2027. And that is why we have to be very, very careful that we don't want at our state.
We means?
Nigerians, politicians, and those involved in politicking. That we have to do everything humanly possible. And that is why I always refer back to somebody like the former president, Goodluck Jonathan. Remember what he said? That is, what did he say now, is not worth the blood of any single Nigerian. So I think the way we play politics here, it is not the way it is played across the globe, at least in established climes. We have to be able to play politics of ideology. Tell me what you can do. If you say you are in opposition, tell me what you can do better than the current person that is there. And that will give Nigerians opportunity to decide whether what you are bringing to the table is possible or not. But this issue of coming up and trying to make sure that it's a do or that, it is only one in the past that we had such that, politics is do or die. It is not do or die, for goodness. It's like football. Somebody must win. Yesterday, my team played.
A cynic said it is not do or die they should be talking about. They should be talking about do and die.
Exactly. So that is also, it shouldn't be do or die. Politics is, once the people say they don't want to, there's nothing you can do about it. Go back and revigorate yourself.
Go back to the drawing board.
And it's not the way we play politics where you say, until I get it, no other person must get it. And I don't think that is right.
Wale, but our man here, Nasir, says, in 2027, I'm not gunning for any appointive office.
Well,
it's not a question of whether you trust him or you don't.
Yeah. I think we, first of all, need to admit that Malam El-Rufai is one of the most outstanding political figures in the North, you know.
Okay.
And he's a highly educated person, you know. He attended ABU, came out to a read quantity survey, and came out with first class. After that, he had business, master's in business administration. After that, he decided to go and read law, University of London. And so he's one of the best, technocrats. Sure,
gentleman.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think that it's also a force to be reckoned with in the intellectual community in the North. But I think at 65, I'm not sure that we can say categorically that we can write the last chapter of his political history. Even though he wants to give us the impression that he's not going to contest in 2027. Because if you look at his history, he has crossed from different political parties, from PDP to CPC, from CPC back to APC again. And if you also look at his history, you know, when politicians tell you good morning, you have to look at your wristwatch to be very sure it is morning hours. If you look at what is going on now in ADC, what El-Rufai wrote in the past, I never imagined that he will work with certain people that they now find themselves in the same political camp. So if he's telling us he's not going to contest in 2027, well, politicians say what they do not believe in, and sometimes they believe in what they do not say.
Of course,
so we can...
Wale, just like CKN we recall, a former governor of New York State in America, Marco Rubio, I hope I got his, he said politicians will campaign in prose and govern in, what is the other?
Cons.
Yeah.
so the point is that, you see, he's not saying he's not going to be politically active. Being a presidential candidate or contest for election is not the only way you can be politically active. In fact, you may not even contest an election, and then you may be the dominant factor in politics. So he has not ruled out being, the dominant factor in subsequent election. Amadou Bello didn't contest any election. So what he's telling us is just saying that he may not contest election, but that does not mean that he will not be a major actor in the coming, elections.
Amadou Bello brings back memories of old Kaduna.
Sure.
Okay. Our man, BKO is standing by. BKO, I greet you one more time. Our man, Nasir El-Rufai, says he's not he's not gunning for any political office. You trust him?
Yeah, I have no reason to disbelieve what he said.
Okay.
Sometimes a man has to look back and ask himself pertinent questions. I think that God has been so good to Nasir El-Rufai. He's been DG of BP. He's been Minister of FCT. He's been governor of Kaduna State, two-term governor of Kaduna State. People who have been far longer than him in politics cannot point to such achievements. Okay. So at this time, he wanted to be in the government of President Tinubu. He wanted to be Minister of Power. But it was not confirmed by the Senate. So he felt betrayed by the president, especially because he felt that if the president wanted him to become minister, he would have convinced the Senate. This is the reason he's fighting the president. Now, some have argued that he wants to become president. But he's now saying, no, I want to concentrate on uprooting the ruling party. As far as it's concerned, if he can uproot the ruling party, then he would feel really fulfilled. So perhaps he believes that focusing on that goal of ensuring that the current president is not re-elected is more important than distracting himself with a presidential ambition. This is how he feels. I have every reason to believe him. Whether he and other opposition elements can achieve their aim is an answer. It's a question that will be resolved in the fullness of time. But if he says he's not going to contest, just give him that benefit of the doubt. But he must first do very well in Kaduna State with his new party before he can expect to make a grand showing for his party at the national level. The nature of politics in Kaduna is really changing. It's not a matter to discuss today, but the nature of politics in Kaduna is changing. And El-Rufai would want to do his best to unseat Governor Ubasani. He would want to do his best to unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So we just need to sit back as journalists and watch events unfold. We'll see whether he can achieve his aim. We'll see whether indeed he will not contest, or he will not come back to say, oh, my people piled pressure on me to contest, and then he will show up an interest in the presidential race. Time will tell.
All right, thank you. Gentlemen, you know, the mark of the man is knowing when to apply the brakes. So, dear Nasir El-Rufai thinks it is time to apply the brakes.
For now.
But ensure the engine of the car is moving properly.
He's only saying he's not going to contest the next election as a presidential candidate. And probably he's not going to the Senate. But then he will be a major opposition figure, at least as of today. But nobody is sure. Maybe before the election, he will cross to another, political party.
Okay, then.